Hello, thanks for joining me. This is the image that I'm going to be recreating with ink and watercolor. And this is a sweet little bungalow in Key West, Florida. So I'm going to start off with just making a few marks on the paper with pencil and then go directly in with pen. So I'm just kind of figuring out, I think this is about a 6 by 6 inch, 6 by 5 inch piece of watercolor paper. I'm using my mechanical pencil. I'm just going to make a few little dots on where the roof line is, and then the little overhang. And then the four posts. And the fence line is about here, or maybe a little bit lower, just a hair lower. All right, we're going to go in with pen. This is my Uniball Micro, Ultra Micro pen, and I really like these pens. They last forever, and you could get them and you'll get a set of 12 if you go to my link and order them. You get a set of 12 and they will last you a long time. I like the Ultra Micro and the regular Micro as well. So I'm going to start off with just making that roof line, and then the second little overhang roof line. And then bringing those pillars down. I love this because it has that bougainvillea flowering vine tree plant. It's one of my favorites here in Florida. They're just so beautiful. This one doesn't have a lot of flowers, but you know what? It's my sketch. I'm going to add a lot more pink than what's in there. So we've got a little detail in between the posts, and there's a couple little layers on that roof line there. And I don't know if you could see in that very top window there, which is just one of my favorite little things in this image, is there's little starfish, dried little starfish, decorative starfish decor in the windowsill there on the top. It's so cute. So we're going to pop that in the end. And I like the black door with the pink flowers. Got the nice little light fixture. And a little banister in the back there. On the side, excuse me. And we've got the little bush in front, the hedge. And I'm going to put in the trunk of the tree. And then add a little bit of the foliage. I love how it just drapes all across the front. there is a little swing set, or not a swing set, but like a porch swing on the front. I left that out because I don't think you're going to see it against the window, so I just omitted that. And I'm putting in each individual pane of the window. I like that look. Sometimes instead of just doing a cross across the window, just add in each individual window. I think it's a nice look. Pop in a little palm tree here on the side. And these, the trunk of this tree is really interesting because it's the palm fronds that have been cut off, so I like that. And a little tree all the way in the back. Now I'm going to attempt this fence here, and these posts are very close together. I'm just making some dots just to give me a little bit of a guideline, but I probably won't follow them. I try. So I'm going to put in the posts, but I'm going to separate them a little bit. They're not going to be quite as close together. Doing this repetitious stuff is funny because it starts to get, they are a little different, but that's okay because it's loose. It's a loose sketch, doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm always going a little bit faster because I know I'm filming these and I want to just get to the gist. Whereas if you're doing this, just take your time. And I did speed it up one speed just because I may not hold your interest that long. This is the front gate. And our little detail on the door. One more palm tree. And I think we're ready to paint. I have my little traveler's palette here. I picked this palette out because it has my opera pink for those flowers. And I'm going to start off mixing a little bit of the sky color with a cobalt blue. I'm going to wet the paper first using my very small mop brush, size 0, and drop in the sky. I forgot to wet my palette. So if you ever grab your palette, it's always nice to just grab a little spray bottle and just activate those paints. So I'm going to go in with a sap green here. Very beautiful color. I'm going to carefully drop that in between all the fence posts. This is a real nice brush for a smaller painting such as this. So indigo, or I was going to say indigo, not indigo. Payne's gray for all the shutters. And the door. And we need to add a little bit of a shadow. So I added a little bit of violet. Into the Payne's gray. And we've got a little shadow on this side of the roof line, and on the other side it comes down across a little bit further down. And that hole underneath is in the shadow. I'm going to add a little sidewalk, even though you can't see it. I used some yellow ochre and a little Payne's gray just to give us a little bit of a nice shade of beige. And I'm going to add in more of the trees. Now that that sky's dried, I can finish up that top tree there. And add in a little bit darker green. All right. Pop in a little bit of the tree trunks. And now I'm ready for the pink flowers. And I'm just going to drop some in here and there with the tip of the brush with some opera pink. Back to the Payne's Gray to fill in all the window panes. Now that the rest of it's dry. I didn't mean to put that there because that's the walkway out. Adding a little bit of grass. And a few more little darker, add a little bit of violet to the pink and just giving us a little different shade of pink. So now that everything's dry, I'm going to go in and put in my final marks. And I'm using my Uniball micro pen. And have some siding and some shingles. And some little sidewalk detail. Little slats to the shutters. And at this point, I'm just looking around to where I want to add a little bit of depth, get that little bit of darker value in there. Because you can see when the paint dries, it looks so colorful when it's wet, and then when it dries, that watercolor really softens up. So it's nice to go back in with this final mark making just to really bring back a little bit more detail. Outlining windows and doors is always key, roof lines. And I'm grabbing my Uni Posca and I'll put in those little starfish in the window. And I'm going to add a little bit of detail in the light fixture there. And then also just a little bit of highlight in the trees. And a little more pink. Kind of really dulled down, so I want to add a little bit more brighter pink for a little second layer. So I will just add a few little birds in the sky. and a little bit more detail to the overhang. And that's it. Here's my cute little Key West bungalow with the starfish in the windows. Very cute. I added a little bit of shadowing into the sidewalk from the fence. But yeah, this turned out really cute. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out. Subscribe if you haven't. Give me a thumbs up. And I will leave a link to all the supplies I used in the description below. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you can find time to sketch. And bye for now.